today we're gonna talk with the performers, actors of the performance The End, with Bertrand, Lesca and Nasi Voutsas. So how are you guys? To start it like breezy. Everything is fine.
We're good. We're currently in France, in Avignon.
Oh, nice.
And we're performing The End at the moment, and another show that we did, Palmyra. And yeah, to be honest, we're good because it's been a long time, and it feels very good to be able to perform again. Yeah, and to show, to be with audiences again just feels a bit like a dream. So it feels good. Yeah, we're in a good place.
Nice. So, the very title of your play, of your performance, The End, is like very monumental. So how did you come up with the name? The end of what?
I guess like there was an idea of like talking about something to do with the ecological crisis, but we didn't want to take it face on, and we didn't want to talk about it in the way that the media talk about it. We wanted to approach it through a different angle, and we saw an installation in Sweden which was about climate change, and there were loads of different excerpts of different things to do with what was going on, and there was an extract from a film where this man was coming to visit his mum who was dying, and we thought it was a very appropriate image for talking about this in the way that it kind of reminded us of the fact that it's about ending, and it's about mourning something, and it's about knowing that this thing will eventually end.
And tell me how so far, how does the play, the performance, communicate with the audience? How they interpret the language of the very performance? How do they react?
I think people react in very different ways. With a lot of our work, that's the case. I think, some people feel quite confused by it, but also I think the majority kind of get to know us a bit, quite personal, I think they feel like they get to know us quite personally in this show, and I think we use our own relationship and our own trajectories, and we imagine our own futures, and our own, like Bert said, like our own endings, the end of our relationship, the end of our lives.
And dance is also an important part of your performances, not just this one. How did you choose exactly that form? It's really interesting because some of the parts are really hilarious in a good way. So dance, you're not dancers, right?
We're not dancers, but well spotted. No, but I think the idea was to also the previous 3 shows that we've done were very political and very theatrical as well, and I think I guess it's like it was interesting to kind of think about something new that we could do with the form that we'd found, and we were like, oh, maybe it could be interesting to remove language and to remove we didn't end up removing it altogether because there's still this projected text, but just for us to have to express ourselves just through movement and through dance felt like an interesting challenge.
So for me, what is really interesting is that the whole performance is imbued with a very strong irony. I love irony. That's my private opinion, but the irony, is it related to the thematic framework? Is it your irony towards theater, or is it also your irony as performers, irony with yourselves?
Irony, and we use the humor of that irony as well to, I think that's sort of just who we are as people. I think we like to bring humor to the stage. We like to make people feel a bit like, who are these guys? Like what are they Are they dancers? And if they are dancers, like who let them do this show? Like who let them be here? Like why is this happening? I think we like this moment. Like we enjoy it a bit. Like this idea that the audience have to go like, are these guys for real, or like we like subverting this. Like
you like to confuse people.
It's not necessarily to confuse people. It's just we work very hard at the meaning of our pieces, and we really put a lot of work in, you know. But we don't want to stand on a stage and be like, look how clever we are, this clever piece that we've come up with. We like to embrace the silliness and the humor and the irony of the work as well.
Improvisations, the theater of improvisations, is maybe something that will not come so soon in my country because people don't know how to react. Actors mainly don't like them. Many of my colleagues, they don't like them because they feel insecure. So how do you treat improvisations? Maybe somebody who would now listen to your experience, how do you treat them? What do you think about them? What do you need in one? Do you need a start line and end line? Of course, obviously you do, but can you share your experiences? So maybe somebody from our art will hear and have a better and lighter opinion towards improvisations.
A helpful thing is to do your best to remain open, and do your best to allow. We try and allow to release control, basically, to try and remember that your thoughts or your ideas sometimes are just not the best ideas. You know what I mean? Like they're not, and that's okay. Like sometimes the best ideas come from something that you didn't see coming, and you just let that come. So it's like a collaboration with the improvisation in itself. Like me and Bert, we get in a room, we have an idea of what we might want to do, but if you're too much in that idea, like, no, this is the idea, this is what it needs to be, it kills it. It kills the life, it kills the space, it kills it all. So I'd say just be open enough and brave enough to listen to and let go of control sometimes in improvisations, especially.
I think we're never fully in control of how people are going to perceive the shows that we're making, and I think the irony that you perceive is true, but also I think it's kind of it kind of escapes us in a way. Like we put ourselves on stage and people see something that we have no idea they're going to see, and then they're like, oh my god, but then when you guys come on stage, I think of this, and I see that you're so different, and so in the way that you hold yourselves on stage, and this we can't control. We're just trying to be as open as possible, as just presenting ourselves. Like the first scene, we just come on and we're just there, and people already start kind of building a narrative about who we are and what our relationship is. And so in a way, you don't need to say much at all, and you don't need to it comes to show that actually just two bodies on stage is interesting enough sometimes.
Yes, I agree. So the last question, maybe, you told previously that the trilogy and your previous works were also political theater. Here also, we don't have political theater. There are some tries but then everybody's trying to be politically correct. And we don't have political theater. Maybe there's one person in Serbia, Zlatko Pakovic. He's doing some really important things. So what does it mean to you actors, to performers? You are also directors. What does it mean to you to do political theater? I think that it's really necessary. I would so like to do political theater. I think it's necessary. So what's your point of view? Is it important to you? Why?
I think it is necessary and it is important, and all of those things. It's also quite hard at the moment to make political theatre, I think, because politics over the past few years has been very volatile and very intense. So it's like, what more? It's a question like, what do you bring to the table, like through theatre? And it's a question that we struggle with. We think about it a lot, and we struggle with. But I guess right now in our work, with the end, we moved away a little bit. I think you can argue that anything on stage can be political. Comments have said about the end, about two male bodies being gentle with each other is a political act. You know what I mean? Like, to present this.
Personal is new, so the end kind of marks a new departure, but I think for us it still is political, but it's just kind of like just looking at what, like how the two kind of are interconnected, because I think people experience, I guess, like it just needs to escape the kind of sphere of like those ideas that you hear about all the time and the media talk about all the time, because otherwise it's just essentially approaching it from the same angle. Whereas like, I think theatre needs to be doing something else, and it needs to connect with audiences in a different way, and to kind of like make people think about these things that also interest us and interest, I think, a lot of people, but making them see it through a different angle. And I think that's important.
Thank you. So that's it. I have no more questions. Thank you for being with us here. Thank you for submitting your show. Thank you for the opportunity that our region can watch it again when the festival comes. I hope we will see each other soon. I hope you will come again to Mes, to Sarajevo, anywhere in the region. Good luck with your new project. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I wish you really, really nice and fruitful process in your new play.
Thank you, Dina.
Thank you, Dina. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.